Welcome to Sphaera. Tonight, you are invited to leave the worries of the day behind and enter a space of calm, rest, and deep relaxation. Before we begin, please make sure that you are in a comfortable place where you can relax completely without interruption. Do not listen to this recording while driving, operating machinery, or performing any activity that requires your full attention. This session is intended for relaxation, meditation, and sleep. You can return to this journey whenever you wish. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. Only this moment, only this breath. Take a slow breath in and gently exhale. Again, breathing in deeply and breathing out completely. Allow your breathing to find its own natural rhythm. And as you continue to breathe slowly and comfortably, bring your awareness to your feet. Notice any sensations, any warmth, any heaviness, any relaxation beginning to emerge. Now allow that awareness to move into your calves, your knees, your upper legs. Simply noticing, simply allowing. Continue breathing. Allow your awareness to move into your abdomen, your lower back, your chest. With every breath, allowing tension to soften. Allow your shoulders to relax, your arms becoming heavier, your hands resting comfortably, your neck softening, your jaw relaxing, the muscles around your eyes becoming calm and still. And finally, bring your awareness to the top of your head, feeling your entire body supported, relaxed, safe. Now gently bring your attention to the space around you. Notice any sounds, near or far. There is no need to judge them, only notice them. What can you hear? What can you feel? What can you smell? Simply allowing yourself to become fully present, here, now. And if thoughts begin to appear, allow them to come. Notice them, acknowledge them, and then gently let them drift away, like clouds passing through a peaceful night sky. There is no need to hold on to them, no need to follow them. Simply allow them to pass, returning your attention to your breath, returning to this moment. And now, if you are ready, imagine yourself walking along a quiet path on a night unlike any other. The air is cool, gentle, comforting. Above you, the moon hangs peacefully in the sky, its silver light illuminating the landscape before you. A soft mist drifts across the ground, moving slowly, almost as though it is breathing. You follow the path without hurry, without effort. Each step feels natural, easy, calm. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. Only this journey, only this moment. As you continue walking, you notice something in the distance. At first, it appears only as a shadow, a shape emerging through the mist, ancient, silent, waiting. You continue forward, and with each step, the shape becomes clearer. A building, large, elegant, timeless. Unlike anything you have ever seen before, its architecture feels familiar and yet impossible to place, as though it belongs to another world, path curves gently, leading directly toward the building. And as you draw closer, you notice a sign standing beside the entrance. Its surface is made of aged bronze. The letters engraved upon it shimmer softly in the moonlight. You pause and read the words. The Museum of Borrowed Things. Something about the name stirs a feeling within you, a memory, a question, a curiosity you cannot quite explain. You have never been here before, and yet it feels as though you have always known this place existed. The museum stands quietly upon a small hill, surrounded by ancient trees, their branches swaying gently in the night breeze. Golden lanterns illuminate the stone pathway leading toward the entrance, their warm light dancing softly across the mist, creating pools of gold and silver along the ground. You begin walking once more. The closer you come, the more details you notice. Beautiful stonework, tall windows, intricate carvings worn smooth by time. Above the entrance, a circular window reflects the moonlight, like a silent eye watching over the night. The building does not feel empty, nor crowded. It simply feels present, as though it has been patiently waiting for those who are ready to enter, ready to see what lies within. You arrive at the foot of the steps. For a moment, you stop. The world behind you feels distant now. The responsibilities of daily life, the tasks, the worries, the endless movement of the outside world, all of it seems far away. Here there is only stillness, only quiet, only the gentle glow of moonlight upon stone. Slowly, you climb the steps, one by one, feeling a growing sense of anticipation. At the top, you find yourself standing before a pair of magnificent wooden doors, tall, ancient, beautiful. The surface is covered in intricate carvings, scenes from countless lives, children playing, families gathering, travelers departing, lovers embracing, moments of joy, moments of sorrow, moments that seem strangely familiar, as though they belong to everyone and to no one. You reach out your hand, gently touching the polished wood. It feels warm beneath your fingertips, welcoming, inviting, and somehow you know that everything waiting beyond these doors has been placed there for a reason. You take a slow breath, and another. Then, with quiet curiosity, you push the doors open and step inside. As the doors close softly behind you, a deep silence settles around you. Not an empty silence, a peaceful silence. The kind of silence found in places that have existed for a very long time. You stand still for a moment, allowing your eyes to adjust. The entrance hall is vast, far larger than it appeared from outside. A high vaulted ceiling stretches overhead, supported by elegant stone arches. Soft golden light fills the space, not coming from lamps or candles, but from somewhere you cannot quite identify. The light seems to exist everywhere at once, warm, gentle, comforting. Ahead of you, a wide corridor extends into the distance, and lining both sides of the corridor are glass display cases, hundreds of them, perhaps even thousands, each one carefully illuminated, each one containing a small collection of objects. You begin to walk, slowly, curiously. The first display case catches your attention. Inside rests a small wooden toy boat, its paint faded by time. Beside it sits a worn teddy bear and a handful of marbles. Simple objects, ordinary objects. And yet, you find yourself wondering, who did they belong to? Who held them? Who treasured them? You continue walking. The next display contains an old pocket watch, its hands forever frozen in time, a pair of spectacles, a fountain pen, and a folded letter, yellowed with age, carefully preserved. The handwriting remains beautiful, though the name has long since faded. Further along, you discover another display, a violin, a wedding ring, a small photograph. The image has become blurred with time, the faces almost impossible to recognize. And yet, someone once carried this photograph everywhere. Someone once looked at it every day. Someone once believed it was too precious to ever lose. You continue moving through the hall, display after display, object after object. A child's drawing, a travel journal, a silver necklace, a favorite book, a porcelain teacup, a music box, a collection of seashells, each one carefully arranged, each one preserved, each one silent, and yet each one feels alive with memory. The deeper you walk into the hall, the more a question begins to form, not who these things belonged to, but why they mattered so much. What hopes did they represent? What dreams? What promises? What memories? You pause before a particularly beautiful display case. Inside rests a simple key. Nothing remarkable about it. No jewels, no gold, no sign of great value. And yet, you somehow know. This key was important. Perhaps it opened a first home. Perhaps a treasured chest. Perhaps a door that changed someone's life forever. You smile softly because you realize something. The value of an object rarely lives within the object itself. It lives within the meaning we give it, the stories we attach to it, the emotions we weave around it. You continue walking, and as you do, you begin to notice something unusual. None of the display cases contain names, no labels, no dates, no indication of ownership, only the objects themselves, quietly resting behind glass, separated from the people who once called them mine. A strange feeling washes over you, because for the first time you begin to understand what this museum truly is. It is not a museum of objects. It is a museum of attachment, a museum of memories, a museum of things once loved, things once protected, things once believed to be important, and yet the owners are gone. The objects remain, silent, waiting, as though they have one final story left to tell. At the far end of the hall, you notice an archway, larger than all the others. Beyond it, you can see another room, another gallery waiting to be explored, drawn forward by curiosity. You walk toward the archway, and as you pass beneath the archway, The atmosphere begins to change. The grand museum hall fades behind you, and you find yourself entering a much quieter gallery, more intimate, more personal. The lighting feels softer here, warmer, almost familiar. You take a few slow steps forward and immediately notice something different. These display cases are not arranged by object. They are arranged by time, by stages of life. Your life. A gentle feeling stirs within you. Not surprise. Recognition. As though this gallery has been waiting for you. The first display case stands quietly before you, smaller than the others. Inside rests a collection of childhood treasures. A favorite toy, a small stuffed animal, a coloring book, a handful of marbles. Simple things. Things that once felt enormously important. You find yourself smiling because somewhere inside you still remember the comfort they brought, the adventures they inspired, the worlds they helped create, and as you continue observing, you realize something. Many of these objects were kept, not because they were useful, but because they represented a time you never wanted to lose. Perhaps one day you thought your own children might enjoy them, perhaps even your grandchildren, and so they remained, stored carefully away, waiting for a future that may never arrive. You continue onward. The next display case belongs to another chapter. The years of discovery, the years of becoming. Inside are photographs, old notebooks, letters, concert tickets, cassette tapes, compact discs, even a few vinyl records. You smile again because you instantly recognize the feeling. These things seem to contain the memories themselves, as though letting go of the object might somehow erase the experience. But as you stand here now, you realize the memories never lived inside the objects. The memories lived inside you, and they still do. The next display case is much larger. A wardrobe filled with clothing, rows and rows of carefully hanging garments, jackets, dresses, sweaters, trousers, shoes, some untouched for years, and there, almost hidden toward the back, hangs that one particular item, the one you promised yourself you would wear again. One day, when the time was right, when life settled down, when circumstances changed, when you became the version of yourself you imagined, and perhaps you suddenly realize how much of life can disappear while waiting for one day. The gallery continues. Another display appears. This one makes you laugh softly. Inside are storage containers, plastic lids, plastic boxes, lids without containers, containers without lids, an entire collection of pieces searching endlessly for their missing partners. For a moment, you cannot help but smile, because every home seems to contain a drawer like this, a collection preserved not through intention, but through habit. Things that remained simply because no one ever stopped to ask why. You continue walking. The display cases grow larger and more numerous, each one containing fragments of a life. Your life, small decisions, Forgotten purchases, objects once filled with importance, now resting quietly behind glass, and somewhere deep within, a new understanding begins to emerge. Perhaps the true value was never in the objects themselves. Perhaps the value existed only in the moments they accompanied, the laughter, the celebrations, the lessons, the people, the experiences. And if the experiences remain, perhaps the objects no longer need to carry their weight. You continue deeper into the gallery, wondering what other chapters still await. And ahead, you notice another doorway, leading toward an even larger room, a room filled with towering shelves and countless boxes. Curiosity gently pulls you forward, and once again you continue the journey, passing through the doorway, entering a room unlike any you have seen before. At first glance, it appears to be a storage room, but as your eyes adjust, you realize it is far larger than any storage room could possibly be. The ceiling disappears into darkness above. Endless rows of shelves stretch into the distance, stacked high with boxes, thousands of them, perhaps millions. Some are small, others enormous. Some appear ancient, covered in dust. Others seem surprisingly recent, as though they were placed here only yesterday. You walk slowly between the shelves, observing the countless containers, each one carefully sealed, each one carefully preserved. Waiting, you stop beside the first box. A small handwritten label catches your eye. Things that might be useful one day. You smile softly, because somehow you already know what is inside. Old batteries, spare parts, instruction manuals, pieces of things long since forgotten, objects kept not because they are needed, but because they might be needed. One day, perhaps, maybe, you continue walking. The next shelf contains larger boxes, moving boxes, boxes that traveled from one home to another, and then another, and another, still sealed, still untouched. You wonder how many years have passed since they were last opened. 5, 10, 20, and yet they remained, carried from place to place, preserved through habit, protected by uncertainty. Further along, you notice boxes without labels, boxes whose contents have been forgotten entirely. No one remembers what is inside, and yet no one dares throw them away. Just in case. The words seem to echo gently through the room. Just in case. Perhaps one of the most powerful reasons humans keep things, not certainty, possibility, the possibility that something might one day be needed, the possibility that letting go might prove to be a mistake. You continue deeper into the room, and then you see it. A familiar cardboard box, modest, unremarkable, almost amusing in its simplicity. A small label hangs from the front. The box of cables. You cannot help but smile, because instantly you recognize it. Everyone seems to have one. A collection of wires, chargers, adapters, connectors, cables belonging to devices that no longer exist, technology from another time, kept faithfully for years, waiting patiently for a purpose that never arrives. You gently lift one of the cables, turning it in your hands, and suddenly you understand. This box was never really about cables. It was about possibility, hope, the belief that someday, somehow, this forgotten object might become important once again. You place the cable back inside and continue walking. The shelves seem taller now, the boxes larger, the room more crowded, not with objects, but with intentions, with plans, with possibilities postponed into an endless future. You begin to notice something else. Every box requires space. Every possession requires attention. Every object asks to be remembered, maintained, protected, stored. And slowly, a question begins to emerge. How much of a life can be spent caring for things, while forgetting to fully experience life itself? The thought lingers gently in your mind, not as a judgment, only as an invitation to notice, to reflect, to consider. Ahead of you, the shelves begin to thin, the rows of boxes slowly coming to an end, and beyond them, you can see another passage, long, narrow, and lined with glass display cases, drawn forward by quiet curiosity. You make your way toward it and step inside. As you step into the passageway, the atmosphere changes once more. The room behind you slowly fades from view. The shelves, the boxes, the forgotten possessions, all disappearing into the distance. Ahead lies a long corridor, straight, silent, lined with glass display cases on both sides. At first, the corridor feels spacious, comfortable, easy to navigate. You begin walking. The first display case appears simple. Inside are only a handful of objects. A small toy, a storybook, a treasured childhood possession. The display feels light, almost effortless. Further along, another display appears, a little larger, containing the possessions of adolescence, photographs, music, journals, dreams carefully preserved. You continue walking, and with each display case, the collections grow. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, a bicycle, furniture, boxes of keepsakes, books, decorations, tools, memories. The corridor continues, and so do the possessions. Year after year, display after display, life unfolding behind glass. You notice something curious. The display cases are no longer arranged by category. They are arranged by time, each one representing a chapter of a life, a year, a season, a period of becoming. The further you walk, the fuller they become, the shelves beginning to bend beneath the weight, the contents stacked higher, tighter, closer together. The corridor itself seems to narrow, not suddenly, not dramatically, just enough to notice. A little less room with each passing display, a little less space to move freely. You continue walking. A display from adulthood appears, filled with practical things, necessary things, household items, appliances, documents, furniture, possessions acquired one careful purchase at a time. Beside it stands another, and another, and another, the accumulation never arriving all at once, only one object at a time, one decision at a time, one future need at a time, until one day you find yourself surrounded, not by clutter, but by ownership. The corridor grows narrower, the display cases taller, the collections denser. Some shelves appear ready to collapse beneath their burden. Others are so crowded that individual objects can barely be distinguished. And as you continue walking, a question quietly emerges. Not how much was collected, but how much attention it required, how much energy, how much thought, how much life. Every possession asking to be stored, organized, maintained, protected, moved, repaired, replaced, remembered. You continue deeper into the corridor, and now the display cases begin to change. They no longer contain only possessions. Some contain titles, labels, achievements, expectations, the identities people spend entire lifetimes collecting. Successful, important, respected, accomplished, necessary, valuable. The labels sit behind glass just like everything else. Preserved, protected, carried through the years. The corridor grows narrower still, and for the first time, you begin to understand. The weight was never only physical. The weight was emotional, mental, spiritual. The weight of maintaining a version of yourself. The weight of holding on. The weight of believing that more possessions, more achievements, more labels would somehow create more life. And then something changes. Far ahead, you notice a soft light, faint at first, almost impossible to see, but unmistakably present. The corridor begins to widen, the pressure slowly lifting, the display cases becoming fewer, the air feeling lighter, easier to breathe. You continue toward the light, curious, peaceful, ready to discover what waits beyond the final displays. With each step, the corridor widens. The pressure that once surrounded you begins to fade. The crowded displays become fewer, the shelves less burdened, the air lighter, easier to breathe. For the first time in a long while, there is space. Space around you, and space within you. Eventually, you arrive at the final gallery, a vast circular room, quiet, beautiful, bathed in a soft golden glow. Unlike the rooms before it, there are only a handful of display cases here, each one standing alone, given room to breathe, given room to be seen. You approach the first display and immediately understand its significance. Inside rests everything the world often teaches us to pursue: awards, certificates, trophies, symbols of achievement, recognition, success, the things people spend years, sometimes entire lifetimes, trying to collect. The display is impressive, beautiful, carefully arranged, and yet, as you stand before it, something feels different now. The objects no longer appear powerful, only temporary. You continue to the next display. Here you find symbols of status, titles, positions, ranks, accomplishments, the identities that once seemed so important, the labels people proudly carried, the names written on office doors, the introductions spoken at gatherings, the descriptions placed beside accomplishments. And yet, behind the glass, they appear no different from the toys, the books, the clothing, the forgotten boxes, all resting quietly, all part of the same collection, all temporary. You continue walking. The room grows quieter still, the displays fewer, until fleetingly you notice the last display case, standing alone at the center of the gallery. You approach slowly, expecting something extraordinary, something priceless, something beyond imagination. But as you arrive, you stop, because inside there is almost nothing at all. No treasure, no gold, no awards, no possessions, no titles, no labels, only a single golden light, small, gentle, steady. Its glow fills the glass case, not brightly, not dramatically, simply enough to be noticed, simply enough to be felt. You find yourself standing in silence, drawn toward it, unable to look away. And as you watch, you begin to understand. Everything else in the museum was collected, acquired, protected, stored, maintained. This light was different. It could not be purchased. It could not be owned. It could not be placed in a box or locked behind a door. It was never a possession. It was never something to keep, only something to become. The capacity to love, to learn, to grow, to forgive, to experience, to be fully alive. You realize that every object you passed, every possession, every achievement, every label was merely part of the journey, not the destination. The golden light continues to glow, quietly, patiently, as though it has been waiting for you to discover it, not at the beginning of life, but at the end of searching. And standing before it now, you feel something unexpected, relief, because for the first time, you understand that nothing truly valuable was ever stored inside the display cases. The most important things were always carried within you. You remain standing before the golden light, allowing its quiet presence to settle within you. There is nothing more to understand, nothing more to achieve, nothing more to collect. Only this moment, only this feeling. After a while, you notice something beyond the display case, a doorway, partially hidden within the soft golden glow. You had not seen it before, perhaps because you were not yet ready, or perhaps because some doors only appear when the searching has ended. Drawn forward by quiet curiosity, you walk toward it. As you pass through the doorway, the museum begins to fade behind you. The display cases, the possessions, the labels, the achievements, the years, all gently dissolving into silence. Ahead of you, a beautiful garden opens beneath the night sky. Moonlight bathes the landscape in silver. Ancient trees sway softly in the breeze. Wildflowers glow faintly beneath the stars, and a narrow path winds gently through the grass. You begin to walk, without destination, without urgency, simply enjoying the feeling of movement, the feeling of freedom. For the first time, you notice how light you feel, not because anything has been taken from you, but because nothing needs to be carried. No boxes, no labels, no expectations, no stories about who you should be, only the quiet experience of being alive. The path leads you toward a small hill, and as you reach the top, you pause. The view stretches endlessly before you. The garden, the trees, the moonlit fields, the stars above, and in the distance, you can still see the museum, standing peacefully beneath the night sky, no longer mysterious, no longer distant, now understood. A place that was never about possessions, only perspective. You stand quietly, feeling gratitude for every chapter of your journey, the joyful moments, the difficult moments, the things you gained, the things you lost, the people who stayed, the people who left, the experiences that shaped you, the lessons that transformed you, all of it part of the same beautiful story. And as you look out across the landscape, a gentle realization settles within your heart. The purpose of life was never to collect, not possessions, not titles, not achievements, not even identities. The purpose of life was to experience, to love, to learn, to grow, to laugh, to grieve, to wonder, to forgive, to become. The moonlight grows softer, the garden quieter, the stars brighter, and for a moment you feel completely at peace, exactly as you are, exactly where you are, with nothing to prove, nothing to protect, nothing to hold on to, only this breath, only this night, only this beautiful experience called life. A gentle breeze passes through the trees, and as it does, you notice something resting upon a nearby branch, a white owl, silent, wise, watching with calm golden eyes. For a few moments, it simply remains there, its presence comforting, familiar, as though it has accompanied you throughout the entire journey, without needing to be seen, without needing to be known. The owl inclines its head ever so slightly. A simple gesture, a quiet acknowledgement, and then, with effortless grace, it spreads its wings, rising silently into the night sky. You watch as it disappears among the stars, until only the moon remains, and the peaceful stillness of the garden. You take one final look across the landscape, feeling lighter, freer, more present than before, and carrying that feeling gently within you. You begin to make your way home, not carrying possession, not carrying labels, only carrying the wisdom of what truly matters, and with that wisdom resting quietly within your heart, drifting deeper and deeper into peaceful rest. As our journey comes to an end, allow yourself to remain in this peaceful state. There is nothing more you need to do, nothing more you need to think about. Simply rest. Allow the insights of this experience to settle gently within you. Trust that everything you need will unfold in its own perfect time. You are safe. You are supported. You are exactly where you need to be. And as you drift deeper into sleep, know that you can return to this place whenever you wish. Thank you for sharing this journey with Sphaera. Sleep peacefully, dream deeply, and awaken renewed. Sleep, heal, transform.